Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Digital Marketing Daily Digest episode number 19. This is Casey. Thank you for all the feedback and support that you guys have been sending across. And this is one session where I'm very impressed with the quality of updates that's going to come out rather than the quantity of the updates. Now, if you look at what is happening around, majority of the platforms are reinventing themselves and coming up with new features. While it is going now, the reason I started this was just to bring you the best of the updates in terms of features being launched and what strategies you could apply and things like that. But if you start looking at where this is headed to another place altogether, which I've never expected. This would be a series going forward where we would be talking about what different strategies could be used, how we could look at other case studies of companies and how we could use their learnings and make our strategies effective, achieve our business goals. Now, this is going to be an out-and-out digital marketing, not just an update session or series. This is going to be an out-and-out digital marketing hub as such. And this is exactly what gives me immense happiness because we're just not looking at one aspect of digital marketing. On that note, let me welcome you back to the episode number 19. This is Casey, so stay tuned. While Instagram is happy celebrating the 8th birthday, now there's somebody who has sunset a very prominent tool, which is Google Plus. So before we get to how Google Plus is being sunset for consumers, let's wish Instagram a very 8th happy birthday, and what a fabulous journey. And it is still not done. This is not the end of the road. Instagram is still in good hands when Facebook is concerned. Happy birthday, Instagram. The second feature that we would be talking about Instagram is launching a geo-tracking feature where Instagram would start saving a history of all the locations that you've been at, just like how Facebook does. Now, this could raise a lot of questions about why is my location being tracked and would this information be used for advertising or better pitching products to me, and am I going to be bombarded with advertising? We still have no answer on that, but it's not good from a user's perspective because your location trail and everything else is going to be saved with Instagram. You could go ahead and apply for the AR filters program that Instagram is launching. Now you could apply so that you become one of the beta testers for the AR that's features that are going to be put into or brought into Instagram. Now it is called as a Snap AR, and you could go ahead and apply for this program, and you would be one of the beta testers to do that. It goes out to re-emphasize the fact that AR is really going to be big, and Facebook has already done something which is very interesting with AR. And if you look at what they have been doing with Oculus VR, AR is being brought into platforms like Facebook, and now it's going to be in Instagram. So you could use this and be a part of this group, where you could be involved in making these effects on Instagram. Much awaited feature of who is happy with just the 15-second duration while it comes to posting videos onto your stories. Now, it's a pain point for me because it is very difficult for me to condense my message in 15 seconds always. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's possible, but sometimes it becomes too difficult for me to crump or put everything into the 15-second window. Now, you would have to use external tools like Cut It Pro and things like that, where the video that you upload on your stories would automatically get trimmed into 15-second snippets. Now, that functionality is going to be included within Instagram with an option called continuous video, where using this, you can upload videos which are longer than 15 seconds. And the feature would automatically trim these videos, and it will break it down into different sections of your story. Now, that's a very I wouldn't say just interesting. I would say this is something which is very needed for all the Instagrammers, because it gets frustrating always to freeze everything into a 15-second window. The next update that I have from Instagram is Instagram. Now, influencer marketing is on the rise. Now, everybody with a good number of followers and quality content on Instagram is one of the potential influencers for upcoming brands, reputed brands, and for celebrities and a lot of other things. Now, if you happen to be an influencer on Instagram, one question that would constantly bug you and you would always be worried about is how much am I worth? So how much should I charge for posting something on my Instagram? And if I have to be an influencer, what's my real worth? So a recent update, I think it's launched or it came out a day ago, where something called as Buzz Web is a tool that is being. There was an article on Product Hunt where this tool would let you know what your actual worth as an influencer is. Now, it is not only helpful to influencers; this will also help brands decide upon how much they would have to shell down if they have to hire a particular influencer with certain characteristics. The next set of updates that we have are from Facebook. Now, Facebook, call it a turbulent journey, a lot of confusion, chaos, a lot of trouble, tragic incidents happening back and forth. They're just beaten when it comes to certain things. Now, amidst all this confusion, Facebook is not giving up, and that's one thing which I keep consistently telling you in all my updates, in all my series. They're just not giving up. Now, if you look at what they're trying to do, they're trying to do a lot of things. Sometimes I'm not quite sure, and I don't think and sometimes I don't think if I have the audacity to tell them what they're doing is right or wrong. But let's look at it from a user's perspective. Now, there is a lot of issues going on. There is a lot of concerns as far as the privacy is concerned and security that Facebook is providing or breaching in certain areas is concerned. Now, is this a time where Facebook should be looking at launching something called as Facebook Portal? And if you're not sure about what Facebook Portal is, just go to portal.facebook.com, which is a new hardware device that Facebook is looking at. Now, this is a new hardware device that Facebook is looking at, which is just a video chat or a voice calling device or a voice device. Now, it comes in two specifications: one in 10 odd inches and one in 15 odd inches, and different resolutions. Now, this is going to be a hardware which is used specifically for video calling. Would $199 and $399 or $349? So, would you think people would be keen on buying something like this from Facebook, which is not a hardcore hardware device manufacturing company, in the midst of all this security breaches and privacy concerns? So that is something that we should wait and watch, but I somehow don't feel the timing is appropriate. When you talk about Facebook Messenger, which is the next going to be a game changer in today's world, where they have been including a lot of voice assistants, and they're experimenting with UI UX for sure. And apart from that, what they're looking at is they're trying to integrate a voice assistant on the lines of Google Voice Assistant and Amazon Echo into functionality into the Messenger, Facebook Messenger, and they're still experimenting where you give in voice commands and the voice assistant will answer you back or give you the response that you have needed. Though it is not yet equipped, not completely out, not completely tried and tested, but the trials are going on, and that could be something which can be interesting. In some of the accounts, they've introduced something called as a contact, like in your messenger with a alphabet M, which is the messenger assistant. So you could start figuring it out or try experimenting with it if you already see it in your accounts. Though I doubt it, but if you see it, you can start experimenting with those things. The next update that I have, which is going to be interesting about Facebook, is Facebook Messenger. The dark mode comes to Facebook Messenger, and they have introduced a hell lot of options, new emoticons, new emojis, new options, a lot of things they're trying to experiment with Facebook Messenger. Now, it is worth a try to go to your Facebook Messenger, look at the options available. Though we only use it in our busy lives just to answer certain messages or chat with friends that we normally do, just check out the options that they have introduced, and it will be worth your time. The next update that I have about Facebook is, if you have heard about Facebook Watch, which is you could host a watch party in your Facebook group. So you have a Facebook group, and you could line up a set of videos, and you could invite your audiences in the group to watch these along with you. Now, something like group viewing, right? Now, this option is available in Facebook Pages now. You could be a page owner. If you have a page, you could start hosting your watch party on Facebook Pages. Earlier, people used to alternate this with Facebook Live. I mean, you could do a live activity or a live broadcast on your Facebook page. Now, along with that, you could also go ahead and start a watch party on your Facebook pages. Now, that's something which is interesting. Now, these are some things which are competitive, which give competitive edge to Facebook, where it is not always trying to explore something, venture out into something else, but trying to increase the core value of what it is already doing and what Facebook is known for. Now, I think Facebook should start looking at more of these functionalities. And another thing about Facebook Messenger that you should look out for is Facebook Messenger is introducing AR images to Messenger. Imagine you're talking to somebody and using this AR technology, you could start putting in some stickers into your chat messages, and you could just try and make it fun. Now, IKEA was doing something like this where you take a picture of your room and you can go to the IKEA store and import certain images of like a sofa or couch and see how well it fits in your current setup. Now, a similar AR set of stickers are being introduced in Facebook Messenger, and it would give you a definitely new experience as far as chatting with friends or Facebook Messenger is concerned. Facebook events were very important at some point in time. When I was just starting out and when I had a very small setup, events was something which was very important to me because I had to do a lot of events like a demo session or demo sessions where I talk about something. Now, initially, in my initial days, this really helped me to do a lot of things. Now, when I was trying to get these things done, I had to conduct an event. I had to write the description about an event, and I would say, okay, it would be held on this time, this day, on at this place. There was one feature which I always had struggled with, which is what would be the schedule of my event. So if the session starts at 10 a.m., so who would be talking at 10 a.m.? When would be the lunch break? When would be the tea break? So I was struggling with not having an option where I could formally present my schedule of the event. So I ended up putting these things in description, and so did the other guys. Now, if you start looking at it, Facebook has made a new change where they're introducing a schedule option to your events, where you schedule an event and you could start looking at updating or describing your event schedule about what happened, like a formal schedule of when the session begins, when would the tea break be, who would talk at what hour. Let's say, now this would really help participants to choose and prioritize the sessions that they're really interested in if they really don't want to go through the whole session or the event. So the next thing which I want to talk about is not so interesting, not so helpful update from Facebook, which is in Instagram, the nature of the platform so happens that you post something on Instagram and through a series of hashtags, you try and reach out to a lot of people. And most of the connections, in fact, 95% of the connections or follows or likes that you get from Instagram are from random people that you don't personally know. Now, Facebook I don't know if this is a very interesting option because I would freak out if somebody does that to me. Now, Facebook is showing random connections of people who liked my posts or my pages or my images on Instagram, and it is bringing up those profiles on Facebook and asking me to be friends with them. Now, that's completely insane. Why would I do that, right? Now, this is something which is an update, but I'm not quite sure if it is an interesting or a helpful update from the platform's perspective. Now, if you happen to be somebody who live broadcasts on Facebook quite frequently, you should just go and see the new options that they have introduced. They are really fun, and you can experiment with a lot of options like new emoticons, new features, new GIFs, new options, new way to interact with people. It's all fun. Now, you should just go ahead and start. The next time you do a live broadcast, just go ahead and look at those other functionalities or features that Facebook has included. You should focus upon your live session, agreed, but just be a little playful and try and experiment what other features are available. On Android phones or on the Android OS, the Facebook is making it easy for you to find different groups. Now, if you are a Facebook user on the Android platform, you just go to your app and you see that you could easily access the groups, like shortcuts to groups that you're actually a part of or that you manage. You can quickly go and navigate to these groups using your Android OS. Google, ladies and gentlemen. The sad news is that Google has sunset or Google just killed Google Plus for consumers. A lot of reasons, not much engagement from customer point of view, not many people interacting with it, not proper weightage being given to Google Plus as a platform compared to other review platforms. So all these reasons made Google decide that it's the end of Google Plus for consumers, and they have killed it as of this morning. There was a story which was very popular when I was working at Google. I don't know how far this is true or whether it is rumored or whether people made it more interesting by spicing it up this way. But the updates that I had or the story that I'm talking about is Google was going through a difficult time at the beginning of when Android was launched. During that phase, Google was really struggling a lot with a lot of projects on hand, with a lot of things being rolled out every now and then, right? Now, this goes out to say that this is not just, Google, it also tells you that companies like Google also go through a phase like this. And if we learn something from this, we can also start applying this learning to our lives or careers, and we can make it a little better or streamlined. Now, while Google was struggling with about these 20, 25 projects that they have on hand, not being able to dedicate proper resources, energy, and focus, they had approached Steve Jobs and asked him what would be the best approach to go ahead with, because we're really struggling with these many projects. We have tight deadlines. We're asking people to stay back, and we're kind of pressurizing people to get these things done, though it is not in our DNA, because Google is very liberal when it comes to certain things. Now, Steve Jobs apparently gave one piece of advice which changed the face of Google ever after, which is drop 19 projects, focus on one, right? Now, such a simple, incredibly simple suggestion, but it just changes the game, right? Now, you don't have to worry about 19 other things which are less important. Pick one thing which is the most important thing, and you focus on that and you run with it. That's exactly what Google did with search, and that's when the Google Knowledge Graph came out, and that's when they started making it much more effective. And that's exactly, if you ask me, now that's a phase where Google search actually now that's a phase when Google actually took another search to another level, and things got really interesting for them. So Google drops Google Plus for consumers, and Google brings machine learning to Adsense publishers. Now they would want to equip publishers with machine learning capabilities and knowledge, just to make it very, very interesting for them, and to just to make their journey with Adsense simpler and easier. The ultimate goal, though, is to make sure that relevant ads are being shown on publishers' ads, and not spam the site with a lot of unwanted results or too many irrelevant searches. Now, that's something which I wanted to talk to you about AdSense, where AdSense publishers will get new machine learning powered tools and resources to make their sites better by showing relevant ads. Or do you really want to book a ride and see whether you have a ride available? Whether are you okay with the price? Is Grab cheaper? Is Uber cheaper? Is Ola giving you a better price? So what do you want to do at this point in time? So if you really want to book a ride using Google Voice Assistant, you can certainly do that. Now, Google lets you book rides through the Voice Assistant. Not just that, it is equipped now to compare these platforms where you want to book a ride with, and it will give you the best possible price. And I mean, you can book a ride wherever you get a better price, and you can start, and the final closure happens on their platform, where you actually call them and finish off the activity. Now, nevertheless, the reason I'm sharing this is Google Voice Assistant is bringing more and more meaningful things into life, like booking a ride. I'm not quite sure if it's already there in Amazon Echo or Amazon Alexa, but this is the new update that I have from Google Voice Assistant. Google My Business has launched a new tool for agencies, where agencies could go ahead and start adding business listings to their accounts. Now, last year around May is when Google My Business announced this feature where they would start having agency accounts, where if I am an agency, I could go ahead and manage hundreds of business listings for my customers. Now, what exactly happens between the agency and the customer is a mutual agreement, but I can become an agency on Google My Business, and I would be responsible for handling a couple of my clients' business listings on Google. Now, as of today, Google has launched a new tool to help these agencies to add these business listings and make it less tedious and cumbersome to add and manage these listings. So Google is massively cutting down on the data that it is giving out to developers in terms of APIs. Now, there was a news article that came out where it is reported that Google has given out more than what it could have imagined in terms of APIs and user data, and it could be the SMS data for developers and in terms of APIs. Now, they don't want to disclose that, and they have never disclosed that. Now, that could be a potential, could it backfire? We really don't know. But at this point in time, Google is cutting down on the major pieces of information that it is giving out, or it was giving out in terms of APIs in the past. Now, that could be call data or SMS data, which was synced with Google, and the SMS data, which is a part of the Google Gmail backup. Now, they're trying to cut down on all these aspects, which will see a major decline in the amount of users' personal data being used or shared with anybody, especially developers, because it is a potential security threat, if you ask me. The final piece of update that I have about today is Spotify lets podcasters host their podcasts on Spotify. Not just that, they're also giving the analytics and how many interactions happen with your podcast and all the numbers associated with that. Podcasts, all of us know, are on the rise, and they are the next big thing after vlogs or videos that you see on YouTube. Now, this is the next big trend that is going to be that seems to be catching up after video has ever arrived. Now, there are certain platforms that you could host your podcasts upon, like Anchor. You have SoundCloud. There are different platforms. Along with that, you can also do it on Spotify going forward, and you could also look at the analytics and measure the numbers and see how things are going on these platforms. So much for being with me and tuning into my episodes. Thanks for all the love and support as always. So please stay with me and please subscribe to this channel if you have not already done that. And the next set of big things that would start happening on this channel is we would be talking about case studies. We would be breaking and bunking a lot of myths about digital marketing, and the journey is sure going to be exciting. Thank you so much. Until then, this is Casey signing off. Cheers.